Welcome to Game of the Week! This week's game is Space Harrier for the Nintendo Switch on the Sega Ages collection. Play this game! So why in the world would you want to play Space Harrier on the Switch? I mean, it is a great game. But it's not just any version of the game, it's the arcade game Space Harrier. One of the best and greatest Sega fighting fire games. I don't know, it's pretty unique and it's really cool. Basically, if you're unfamiliar with the game, you play as this weird guy here with this big gun and he flies and he shoots stuff. So what does this Sega Ages version have to offer for you? Well, let me tell you, it's got a lot of cool stuff. Like all Sega Ages collection sets, you have a variety of customization options for how you want to see the visuals, and you have an easy mode and your standard mode. Basically, this game actually has two different easy modes. Let me get into that. So the first easy mode, instead of playing the game like normal, you can actually play the game with a little shield. And basically the shield will destroy most obstacles in your way, but not all enemy attacks. And also you have these two little guys on the side, and if they get hit, your shield goes away. And they're stunned temporarily and then come back and get the shield. Although this makes the game a little bit too easy, I actually did find it quite fun and enjoyable to mess around with, as it did make the gameplay a little bit more interesting as you're trying to avoid getting the shield being destroyed instead of just mindlessly avoiding obstacles for your sake. So instead of just only avoiding obstacles, you're making sure your little guys avoid obstacles so that you don't lose your shield so that you don't get killed. And also in the easy mode, you basically have infinite continues. Now as for the second easy mode, you can play the game like normal. However, you can start back from any level you last completed, which makes it a little bit easier to continue through the standard game. But if you're just trying to mess around with the game and you just want to do it for the sake of it, just go ahead and start off from the last level, or your favorite level even, and mess around with that. There are a few things to note in the ways of control schemes. This game now offers a very interesting way to play the game using a single Joy-Con in the motion controls, called joystick mode. Basically, when you go to an arcade, you would have your little arcade stick and the buttons on the side. Well, now you can take a single Joy-Con and motion it around just like an arcade stick. Though, it wasn't very responsive for me when I played it, and I often died more times than not. So I stuck to using a standard Pro Controller. One thing you should note when using the Pro Controller, however, is that if you're going to play this, do not use the analog stick. When you use the analog stick, it will actually reposition your character back to the center of the screen, making it a little annoying when you don't want to keep moving him around from one position to another. Whereas on the D-pad, wherever you last inputted him to be, he stays in that location. I had a much better time playing this game using the D-pad as opposed to using the analog stick for that reason. But of course, if you do want to get back to the center of the screen very quickly, just tap the analog stick for a quick second and you'll go back to the center. This is a great addition to the rest of the Sega Ages collection set, and quite honestly, I look forward to all the more that they're going to release. But hey, who knows? Maybe the next one will be Sonic 2, huh? Okay, maybe it might be a while, but hey, Space Harrier is still a great game, and I think you should play it. So that was it for Space Harrier, your Game of the Week. And remember to tune in next time for the next Game of the Week. But until then, play Space Harrier, and I'll see you then.